Welcome back. We're going to get to the second problem here, this problem right down here, and work on that a little bit since we didn't have time in our last video. This one says the difference, start highlighting words that we know are important, of 5 times a number, and 8 is 27. Well, we know some stuff here. We know that the word is means equals. We know that the word difference means minus. If I want to know the difference of our ages, I would take one and subtract the other one, right? And we know times is going to be x. And from our last video, we know a number we're going to call n. And the rest of it is just numbers. So we kind of know all the words here, and then we can associate it. Now we just got to put it together. So it says the difference of 5 times a number and 8 is 27. So I'm going to take the easy part and get it out of the way. Is my equal sign 27. So we've gotten that taken care of. So now we need to know the difference of 5 times a number. So there's going to be a minus sign somewhere. 5 times a number and 8. Okay? So punctuation is very important, and these are hard, so I'm going to show you how to set it up so that way you can use this on other problems that are similar to this. You just got to know how to think about them, right? So we know we're going to have an n, we know we're going to have this 5 and this 8, and how we're going to combine them. Cool. So one thing to think about, okay, is that order of operations is very important when you're dealing with a negative, when you're dealing with a minus sign, subtraction, call it what you will. For instance, if I said, just on a tangent, that my age is 30, and your age is 8 less than 30. 8 less than 30, right? So we have two choices. We know the word less means subtraction, but we got to be very careful. We know that if I'm 30 and you're 8 less than 30, you know you're going to be younger than 30. So if you get a number bigger than that, you did it wrong. Use your brains, okay? So if we do that, you know that you're going to come up with a number less than 30. So if we did this, if we took this as is, right? Or if we said a number 8 less than 30, your inclination would be to do, okay, 8 minus 30. 8 less means minus 30. And you get a number that's negative 22. This is not right. You can't be a negative age unless you're Benjamin Button. I didn't think it worked out well for him either. Google that. So we have a negative 22, so this doesn't work. So the order of operations is very, very important. We know what we're expecting. So let's just flip it around. 30 minus 8 is 22. That makes sense. That's a number less than 30, and that's kind of what we expected it to be. So we know that we have a pretty solid shot of that being right. But that's going to be important in this question here, okay? We want to know that it's going to be the difference of 5 times a number and 8. So we know that 5 times a number sounds pretty big, and 8, so we're going to have to find the difference between those. So let's go ahead and put these in, but we want to make sure we go ahead and do that in the right order. So the difference of 5 times a number and 8 is going to be 27. So we're going to work through this and see if it makes sense. So we have 5n minus 8 equals 27. Let's make sure that the expectation meets our reality here in the end. So we're going to add 8. We get 5n equals 35. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. N equals 7. So the difference between 5 times a number and 8 is 7. So that seems to make sense. It's not a negative number. It's not something weird. If we had done it the other way, just for the sake of argument, to wrap this up so that I know that you've already seen how this looks now, so we know kind of how to go about thinking about these. But let's look if we had done it backwards and see what happens. If we did 8 minus 5 times a number, we would have subtracted 8, we get negative 5n equals 19, divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5, and n equals negative 19 over 5. This is weird and not true, okay? So the good part about it is if you use your brains and you form an expectation, what is it going to look like when I'm done? You'll know when you get there. There's generally only a couple ways to do it, and one of them is clearly wrong, and one of them is clearly correct, okay? Good luck on this, and let me know if you have any further questions. Again, just make sure you set up a little chart like this so you know what each of the words stands for. Start to set up your problem, and then go ahead and take a crack at it. If it doesn't come out something like you think it does, then try it the other way. Good luck.